Okay, we're live. I'll wait for some people to come on, and we'll chicka. Get my new toy. Wanted to do some updates. So again, there's nobody showing up yet. So once somebody shows up, and if somebody shows up, we'll be having a little chicka time. 2 people along for the ride. That's cool. Can you hear me okay? I guess would be my question. See me okay? There's Paul. How you doing, buddy? Never give up. That's right. Hey, man, what's going on? Good to see you as always. Good. Okay, we can hear me. You can see me. I have a great face for radio. What are you doing up so early? I was up at 1 o'clock. It's almost 5. And the reason why is that it rained all day yesterday. And so there was this real short window where May and I were able to get out. I think it was about 2 hours, hour and a half. And we just kind of snuck up the road to a place called Marcos. And we stocked up on some stuff that we've been needing, knucklehead stuff like milk and, all that jazz. And because we knew we weren't going to make it to Dumaguete and get back without getting soaked. And it's raining again today. So there's one of our biggest cock blocks, if you don't mind me saying, to getting some stuff done and going out and doing stuff. However, there are a few more people to get on here. I just want to update you about Jason, and I want to update you a little bit about May's sister Riza, and something else that'll come to my mind eventually. Yeah, and I am up very early, yes. And this is actually not that unusual for me. The reason that I'm up so early, or why I went to bed at like 6 or 7, so did May, because it was raining. And so we have this habit of just sort of like laying down, and for whatever reason, we sleep really easily. May's very accustomed to going to bed early because she was raised in the province and there was no electricity. And so ever since she was a little kid, when the sun went down, everybody went to bed. And so I used to be a night owl. And then as I became officially elderly, I found that I have become a early to bed, early to rise guy. And so you go to sleep at 6 or 7, I sleep 5 or 6 hours. I'm up at 1. I have a choice. Do I want to just try to knock back out, or do I want to stay up? And 50% of the time I stay up, and 50% of the time I knock back out. And so anyway, that's that. Thanks for coming along, everybody. I'm going to go through these real quick. And hey, Daryl. Good morning to everyone. Thanks for coming along. Let's see where we're at here. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Yeah. That was one of those spur of the moments, out of the blue, unplanned, which most of my videos are, videos. And it seemed to resonate with a few people. Cool on you. Things look like they're opening up. The Duke of Dumaguete. And what else did I got to tell you? Oh, I think one of my viewers is going to be moving in here Tuesday, if I heard him correctly. He's here in town and building a house and is going to stay here temporarily. And then another one of my viewers moved in about a week ago. And so that's been fun. And we owe you guys a tour of one of our studio apartments that's available here. And we just, again, haven't done it. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. I bought Bluetooth microphones, and they weren't working properly. And so I couldn't figure out what the hell it was. And it turns out, and May had bought me a new phone. She had bought me a new Samsung phone, and it was the A12. It was the new kind of like low-end version. It was what she could afford for my birthday last month. And so the processors in my phones are not strong enough to handle the wireless deal. It's got to go through an app and all this, that, and the other. So now I'm researching phones. It's just when I thought it was over. Last one was the computer, and now it's the phones. And I'm hearing a lot about Snapdragon, which I guess is the processing unit, and something like an 885. And to me, I just have a hard time inking up for these phones because they're like $700-800, and I just don't see it. But if it's part of this deal, then I guess it's a tax write-off. I don't know. Yeah, good. I'm hearing that the vaccines, as I figured, as more people get vaccinated, that's one less person in line. As the manufacturing increases, that's more available. The next hurdle they're going to have to overcome are people that refuse to take the vaccine. I'm not a big vaccine guy myself, but I've had a zillion vaccines when I was a kid, and they never hurt me. So I'll take the vaccine if it comes along. I don't like the fact that they make it mandatory, like to travel. I don't like that lack of freedom, but Big Brother is alive and well. Yeah. You know what? I Googled the word elderly the other day. So I was curious because I saw a vlog from a guy who was bashing another vlogger. And the vlogger is like a professional troll. And it was interesting because this guy was bashing somebody my age, not me, but he does get on me every now and then. But the point of the matter is that it was elderly abuse. And that's a felony. And I thought, you know what, I don't give those guys the time of day, but I thought, you know what, if I was ever to really get pissed off or bored, I could actually press charges against these guys just for saying shit about me. It's actually against the law. And I haven't looked into it or anything, but because I'll never do it. But I just thought that was interesting. I like doing live streams. I like connecting with people. When I make a video, it's just me, babbling away about some nonsense, and I upload it, and then comments come in, and we do our best to keep up with the comments, but that's probably the last thing that we get to. May's actually been jumping on there and helping me with that. And so this gives me an opportunity to talk to you and have you talk to me live. I like the back and forth. You know what? That was that's one of my topics. So I may as well, since you asked, I'll go ahead and approach that. We got Jason out, and mostly Stash did it. And so Stash is his fellow musician. He's been on the channel. He wrote a song years ago. I won't go into all of it. But what was going on was this. Jason had a stroke and was put into the hospital and was given a bunch of tests. And they never really did anything except give him some medicine. So if you look back at that, and they did MRIs and they did, CAT scans and all that jazz. They didn't operate. They didn't drain anything. They didn't do anything. They didn't perform any physical therapy. They just kind of came in and changed the sheets and took his temperature. And his wife had to go out and buy him food because they don't supply food there at the hospital. And so he got fat as a tick because she was out buying him Jollibee and all this and that. turned out that he was getting unhealthier and it was time to go home. He was better a week ago. And here's the dynamic. And I'm going to do a video about this, but I've really got to get my ducks in a row before I do, because I don't want to give any misinformation. My understanding is you cannot hold somebody in a hospital here due to financial obligation. That's the law. That's my understanding. But that's what I've got to research. I need to talk to a lawyer. And so I will eventually, one of these days. But I've got to talk to a lawyer anyway. So about buying a car, I'm not in trouble. And so if that's the case, what I was advised by my landlord and some other people in the know that have been here a long time is they said, well, just take the police with you. And so I couldn't get Jason's wife on board with that. And so I wasn't comfortable doing it. And number two, saying it and doing it is two different things, because which police station do you go to? Will the person that does that agree to it? Is there anyone available to do it? Blah, 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 blah. It's not like the States where you can just call up and say, hey, I got this situation. And they say, okay, well, we'll send an officer. And so, boom, there you go. And that's just not the way it is here. And so, first of all, I'd have to locate the local police station out by this hospital. And then I'd have to go in and tell them what the deal is. You know what I mean? It would have been a 3 or a 4 hour operation just to get that in motion. And so here was the problem. The money, the majority of the money came from America. It was a GoFundMe that his family set up. And for the sake of this conversation, we'll say that the balance on the bill was 100,000 pesos. So the GoFundMe account would send 100,000 pesos, and you'd think, okay, paid in full, let's go. Guess what? There's a 2-day hold on the transfer. And so the hospital would say, well, we don't actually have the money, and they would keep him for those 2 days. And guess what? Now we owe another 11,000 or 20,000 or whatever pesos. And it was just this never-ending cycle. And it became apparent to all of us that he was just nothing but a cash cow. He was in a private room where he could have been downgraded to one with 3 or 4 people in it. On and on and on and on and on. So finally, we made 2-3 trips down there, and Stash ended up signing a promissory note for 20,000 pesos because he still owes $400, because the doctor bills don't come in until the very last, and they don't tell you what they're going to be. And so, but the lady behind the counter said, and we want you to go away. We're sick of foreigners. So they've got, I think, I don't want to lie to you, I know they've got at least 250,000 pesos for him being there, which is about $5,000. And it could be as high as $7,000. I don't know. I haven't seen the final bill. The only bill I have is when I gave him $1,000 that was raised via the channel here by you folks. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And then, but the bulk of it actually came from the GoFundMe account. Whew. So the good news is Jason is out, and he's at home. And I was going to go see him yesterday, but it was raining. So we'll try again today. But it's raining today. So I don't know. But God bless everybody that supported him. Thanks again to Grumpy's Tavern for opening up their restaurant so we could have a little benefit concert for him. And then the countless other people that, were just helping behind the scenes. What surprised me was the people that didn't help, local people that I know that didn't jump in and do anything. There was more help from total strangers than, I don't know. I can't figure it out. It's one of those things where you just go, whatever. Yeah, new neighbors. Well, sure, my fellow is half my age and half my weight. We've been together 6 years. So a lot of time met her. Yeah. Same thing with May. Half my age, definitely half my weight. There you go. Filipinas are very loving women. And however, we have our moments. I would say, I don't know about you guys feel about those with Filipinos. I think communication is probably our biggest sticking point. And it gets better and better and better, but it's still, that would be the sticking point because I don't speak the language. No electricity. I remember reading years ago before the widespread, the average American guy super night they slept when the sun went down. I would totally believe that. It's to me, it's more normal. This is where I get to kind of brag a little bit. Good morning, George. Being retired, you just get to do whatever you want to do. And the last, not yesterday, but 2 days before that, I just wasn't feeling all that great. So I just stayed home. I just canceled whatever appointments I had and stayed home and till I felt better and just let my body, I didn't take any medicine. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't do anything special. I just kind of like slept. And I think that's the best medicine. The palace today. Let's see. The palace stated today that the economic risk outweighs the risk of the pandemic. Trying to open up by the end of the year. Yeah, I'm hearing that stuff too. Actually, the president, Duterte, is supposed to be here on Thursday. Today is Friday, so in 6 days. And I've seen a lot of military people here, but he's big on infrastructure here. He's improving the airport and he's improving the port here in Dumaguete. So those are two good things. And I'm expecting a massive influx of foreigners here when this thing lifts, because I don't know maybe you guys could give me some feedback. I don't know if you're Googling, because I stopped doing it, but if you're Googling best places to retire, I'm curious if Dumaguete still comes up there. But I just know from guys that I'm personally talking to that there's just a ton of guys going to show up here. Why not just get a used Galaxy S9? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I need something with a really good processor, and I know nothing about this kind of stuff. So I have a little problem with buying used. And then I looked at on Amazon, and this Oppo, OPPO, seemed to have a really, I did Google, top for vlogging, because I need it for sound, audio, and I need it for the camera. And I just want there to be clarity. I don't need it to do anything really special, because I don't do a lot of special effects, obviously. But I look at it like I looked at this computer as an investment, something that I'll have for years. And so there's a processor called Snapdragon. I think it's the processor. And then, I don't know, it's just confusing to me. And then I did go to the mall and ask about a few of these things, and they were trying their best to sell them to me. And then I said, okay, well, maybe I'll get one. Can I see it? And they go, well, it's out of stock. What are you telling me about it for? Hey, what's going on from Quebec? Good to see you too, Zane, my friend. May's good. May just got up. She's just finished praying. You got COVID. You're just a rebel. I do have a tendency to just do things my own way. Oh, yeah, thanks for that. I guess that helps the algorithm. Which is better, Oxford or I don't know. I don't know anything about any of these vaccines. Stimulus. Yeah, we're all going to get some stimulus money. You use that to buy a phone. Yeah, all right. China Dave. Come on, Upland Dave. You know you're China Dave. Here's my buddy. Stole this from another blogger who stole it from the movie Tombstone. I think if I'm going to be insulted. Yeah. You know what? May was going through my comments the other day because I was down with a fever and releasing them. She said you commented on a couple, and I was going to get back to you, but I never did. I never found your comments. So why don't you give me a call when this stream is over, Mr. Teets, because I want to catch up on what's going on with you. If I'm going to be insulted, I must first. That's a fact. Consider the source, right? Gary and I have been friends for going on 30 years, something like that. Him and I have been around the world together. Not really, but kind of, sort of. Well, thank you, David. We appreciate your support, buddy. Hey, Howard, how are you? Thank you very much. I think that's for the girl that May interviewed, if I'm correct. Just send me a message and let me know. Good morning. Good morning, Willie. Thanks, David. We will. That's on the agenda today. If we can get out, if we can bust out of the rain. Oh, so anyway, that's update number 1 is on Mr. Jason. And update number 2 is on Baby May's baby sister, Riza. She's met a guy. She was on the channel a couple of times. And she just wants me to let you guys know how appreciative she is of all your support and the nice compliments that she got. She's a single mom with 3 kids, and she had a lot of suitors, if you will, that contacted her. And she met a guy that she really likes, and they've been Skyping and talking. And she kind of filtered him by me a little bit. He wants to remain anonymous, which I totally respect. And so she just kind of wanted to let you know that you can stop calling her now. Because she's a one-man woman. She's not after having 5 different boyfriends. She's found a guy that she likes, and hopefully that works out for her. So anyway, thanks to all of you guys that contacted her. And we're gentlemen was the main thing. Yeah. I remember that. The little girl that works in the, I think we talked about that. That's for the little girl that works in the canteen. Cool. Thanks, Howard. I told May, don't tell her that until it actually happens. Because May has a habit of announcing good news before it's verified. Let's see, attorney and do best attorney Bulto is the president of the bar in Duma. Yeah, there's actually a guy that there's a couple of options. May's other sister knows an attorney, and then there's a guy that works in Mekong that a lot of guys have used and are happy with, and I'm probably just going to use him when I do the car deal, if that follows through. And I'll ask, and I need an attorney in my pocket. That would have been a good guy to call it from the hospital. Okay, I'm going to call my attorney. In fact, I had a friend get into a motorbike accident. Actually, he was driving a car and a motorbike hit him. And they were all trying to say it was his fault, which it wasn't, because I was part of the caravan and I saw exactly what happened. And I really have to give him a thumbs up, because he just kept telling the police they wanted him to come to the station. And he said, I'd rather talk to my attorney first. And he pulled out the card, and they said, well, never mind. You don't have to come to the station. So they back down when they hear attorney. And I got a funny feeling that the hospital might have too. So anyway, we won't beat that horse anymore. I'm not going to name the hospital. I don't know if that would be smart, but yeah, it's a newer hospital. It's more modern than some of the others. No, they're not. And the issue was, here's the deal. Jason was not ambulatory. In other words, Jason could just not stand up and walk out. It's not like he had, broken his arm and it was in a cast. He had a stroke. So he was just like still, and he's really fat. He gained like a zillion pounds while he's just laying there eating Jollibee and ice cream because he was bored. And so walking just wasn't possible. And Stash and I aren't big enough or strong enough to hold him if he's going to fall. Bottom line is he needed a wheelchair and he needed an attendant. And those are the rules. And they just refused. So the reason I kept saying we should bring 3 or 4 guys with us. And then that's easier said than done. And so, but yeah, I just want to verify that. I believe it to be true 100%, but I just don't ever want to talk without verifying something and have it on record. They are not allowed to hold you in the hospital. And like I said, Stash signed a note, which I don't know if that means anything or not. And there may be the money left over to pay for it anyway. Yeah, Filipinas are good women. What's up, Mike, Wisconsin? Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody else is doing well as well. Well, we are. Please do a live to let us know how Jason is doing after you go see him. Oh, absolutely. That'll be an ongoing thing. Like I said, Dave, I'm actually going to do a video dedicated to the whole thing. I think it's good information for local guys and for guys that are coming out here. Forewarned is forearmed. So knowing what you're up against, I bought a car, I think. I haven't heard back from the guy. He was going to get something fixed on it. But it was $3,000 for the car. And so I pulled $2,900 out of the bank the other day. And I got it stashed away. And I thought it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and pull next month another sum over and above the budget out of my safety net that's in America and have it cash on hand here. Possibly open up a small bank account or just keep it here at the house in the safe. So if something like that happens to me, I don't, May can just boom, get down and handle it. Communication is tough. And what it is that it's I could say a word and she construes it as something else and vice versa. Because I'll ask May something like, are we going to go to the Coffee Groove or are we going to go to Tom Tom's Coffee? And she'll say yes. Yeah, it's not so much the English. May's up to snuff pretty good on her English, except when she comes on a live stream and she says she looks like a statue because she gets paranoid. And it's a matter of me talking too fast. And so I've gotten used to May also because she ends all of her questions with the word ba. So I know that she's asking me a yes or a no question. And if she ends it with the word ba, B-A. And so, but I can't get a yes or a no answer out of her or any other Filipina in all the time I've been here. There's always got to be a story or an excuse or another topic. This is ASUS, ASUS. And I forgot the brand, but it's a really nice computer. Let's see. Oh, it's right here. ASUS VivoBook 15. And I'm super happy with it. Actually, one of my viewers did a bunch of research for me and sent me the information about this computer. And I think it was $800, which was about double my budget. But he convinced me. He said, you know what, man, you're going to be using it for a long time. And it's not just a one-trick pony. So I said, yeah, you're right. I put it on a credit card. I called off my entourage. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I hate making appointments for like tomorrow. Because if I agree, okay, I'm going to meet Joe Blow for coffee at 10. Sometimes I wake up and I just don't feel like it. It's not that I don't want to meet Joe Blow. It's just that I don't feel good, or I'm tired, or I'm not in the mood. And one thing I don't ever want to have to do again is show up. So I've learned my lesson. So when people say, hey, you want to get together tomorrow for coffee? I'll tell you what, why don't you give me a call in the morning and we'll see what's going on. That's how I've changed that. I don't commit. I mean, I want to, and, but she's awesome. She's doing good. She's excited. We are doing good, Mr. Day. Thank you very much. She's great. I don't. May doesn't. Other expats will go maybe once a year to Cebu, where they have a pretty good medical deal in there. Probably something I'll be doing. But I was figuring on going to the States this year, some point in time. And so once I get to the States is when I'll do that. So I got the old Medicare. Yeah, no, we're going to get the old stimulus checks. I'm happy for those that are really needing a stimulus check. Oops. Trail of crazies to Epstein Island when everything opens up. I don't know why people call this Epstein Island. This is a troll here, by the way. When Dumaguete is a very, very sleepy town with a lot of retired guys, like my girlfriend's 35, so Epstein is a referral to pedophilia and all that, young girls. So a lot of other places other than Doomy that you could call Epstein Island, but it is what it is. However, these guys have a very limited vocabulary also. They get 4 or 5 different buzzwords going, and they just recycle them. Lack of imagination on the trolls. Yeah, a lot of guys don't like foreigners, and so, or want to live around foreigners, and I get that. Personally, I like them. And what I found is, if I don't want to be around foreigners, all I got to do is go 20 minutes in either direction, and I'm away from them. May and I are going to do a lot of traveling. We're going to check out other islands, different areas. I've been to Bacolod. We've been to Biowan. I found Biowan to be as boring gets. And it's like you can walk the entire city in 2 hours. And Paul, my friend Paul's Asian Adventures, he's currently in Cebu racing around, and he seems to really like it. I'm a special effect, yeah. I got the greatest idea for this funny video, but it would take too long to make, so I'm not going to do it. Valencia up here is, I was just thinking that how much fresher the air is up here and away from everything it is. Hello, Paul. Should it be good to plan a travel to the Philippines in? I wouldn't buy any tickets right now, to be honest with you. I have a friend that's making it into Thailand. I'm sure once the vaccine gets rolled out and before the end of this year, you guys should be able to get out here. Ireland. I'm Irish. Did you know that? Yeah. Yeah, last time they gave out the $600 checks, I got mine within 2 or 3 days. Now that I said that, it'll take 2 or 3 months. Yeah. Well, actually, that's the video that I've got planned is another chicken doing a dastardly deed to me. But it's just, I don't know. I got to have a lot of patience to do it because I don't edit. And it would be, and what I want to do would require editing, and so maybe I'll do it, and I'll just have May put it together. I'll have her edit it together. There's a lot of construction out here right now on infrastructure. They're redoing the boulevard, if you will. They're adding some friggin' thing out there. I don't know what it is. They're redoing the port, and they redid the airport. So. I get the feeling they're gearing up for you guys. Yeah, vaccines don't scare me. What pisses me off is like saying you can't travel without a vaccine. I just don't like that. I don't like being told what to do. I don't know anything about the cryptocurrencies. I guess what's his name? Elon Musk bought a bunch of Bitcoin. But I have absolutely no acumen for that stuff. How you doing, Don? Oops. Could you do a list of things when you go back home? Could you do a list of things one has to do back home before moving? Well, I've actually done a number of videos that I think address that. One of them is called "What Would I Do Different?" or something to that effect. And I've talked here, but real briefly, what do you need to do back home? Well, obviously, once you're settled back home, I'm assuming what do you need to do to come out here? I think that the most important thing to do is to make sure that your phone is unlocked and has an international calling plan on it. I think you should set up your money transfer stuff in America. You need to make sure all your credit cards and debit cards are contacted prior to coming out here. And then I could give you a host of stuff that I need that I can't get out here, but that may not apply to you. So, but just for the bonehead, knucklehead stuff that I've seen guys make the mistake, if you're going to set up banking, for example, and you're with Bank of America, you would want to look, I think, into some transfer, I want to call them apps. Like I use Zoom. I Zoom over my money, and I set that up in America. Other guys use TransferWise. I think Charles Schwab is a real wise thing to set up. That's a bank where you can use your debit card anywhere, and at the time they'll charge you all the knucklehead fees, but at the end of the month, Charles Schwab reimburses you all those fees, so it turns out to be free. So that would be, I mean, if I had a lot of things I would do different, I would have brought a lot more clothes with me because I'm a fat guy and it's hard for me to find clothes out here. And then there's just so many knucklehead stuff like 1,000 count or 500 count of ibuprofen or Tylenol I would have brought with me, because that's very expensive out here. And it's you have to go to a pharmacy. You can't just pop into 7-Eleven and buy a Tylenol or a bottle of it, and you buy it by the piece. It's weird. I could go on for hours about this, but I have done a video about that. But that would be a good follow-up video, I suppose, as to what would I bring. And because there's been a lot of new subscribers, by the way, so thank you for that. And they probably haven't seen those videos. And then what are we in? March, April, May is going to mark my 4th year anniversary here. So I'm going to do a whole look back video in May. I'm looking forward to doing that. I've had a number of guys offer to send me stuff, but the coolest one was a gentleman actually went to Walmart and turned on his phone and did shopping for me in May, and he sent it already. And we said, okay, we need those pots and pans, and I got vitamins, and I got Tylenol, and what else did we get? Oh, I got some shorts, and then he was showing May all around Walmart. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe how wide the aisles were. And what else did we get? It was really, razor blades, decent razor blades, Dollar Shave Club. He's got, I guess, is going on. That wasn't there when I was in the States, but it is now. So razor blades are really crappy out here. And if you buy like a nice Mach 3, style, it's twice the price is what it is in the States. So I tell you, I could go on and on and on. And the local joke amongst us is, first thing we're going to do when we go back to the States is go to Walmart and spend $1,000. Just stuff from pots and pans and cutlery and some different kinds of appliances, because the stuff that you buy out here is all from China, and not all, but the majority is from China, and it tends to break, and it just doesn't perform properly. Like May's got pots and pans that are already worn out. So I don't know. I should do that video. Dogecoin. I don't know what that is, buddy. What's up, Michael? Yeah, it's good news on both. It's good news on both. And I want to make sure that I keep everybody updated on what's going on with people that I've talked about in the past. Oh, which bodes another topic for me is I'm getting a lot of comments from older videos, which is awesome. It means people are going through the playlist and they're seeing videos that I did maybe 6 months ago or a year ago. But I just wanted to give you guys a friendly heads up. It was a lot more prevalent back then at the old apartment than it is here. I've kind of turned over the female interviews to May, and I don't do as many as I used to, which was got mixed results. But I enjoyed those a lot, and I interviewed some really young, pretty, attractive women, and they got a lot of attention. And I just, a word of caution, guys, if you're looking at these videos of different women that I've interviewed on the couch, take a look at how old the video is, because I've got guys going, wow, she's beautiful. How do I meet her? And number one, I'm not a dating service. And number two, I'm not going to tell you her personal information. I might tell her about you, and then she can decide to contact you. But try to understand that after these people have been on the channel for a month, it's over. You're too late. They've met somebody. That's just a little community service announcement. I will, Jim Burns. What do you got? You going to Vegas, huh? I bet you Vegas is chomping at the bit. Single mom, 3 kids. Lucky that guy found her. Oh, Rasta, blow me. Happy Friday. I watched a few videos and walked through Instagram. I got a little luck. I'll be there soon. Item A. All right, cool, man. Come on by and we'll have a cup of coffee. I think so. Yeah. That's a good question. It really is. Is the water safe? I got sick as a dog, and so did 4 other people by having what's called service water, free water. And it was at a big place called the High. And all 4 of us had dysentery the next day. So it's hit and miss. Okay, Rasta, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and put you in it. I'm just going to freaking block your ass. How's that? It's one thing to knock me, but you start going after the girls and you start being disrespectful. Go tell your mom to make you a grilled cheese sandwich or something. Settle down. Tell you. Now, where was I? Guy pissed me off. Let's see. Okay, the ice. Okay, here we go. Hot coffee. Yeah, that's about all I drink. Stimulus money's on the way. That's a great thing, I think. My idea of the stimulus bill would have been this. Of course, we could all agree I should be in charge. No, but think about it. What do you need in a stimulus bill, or what do you need in a COVID package? You need money going out to the people because they've been unemployed, and that money gets spent, and then that spent money gets taxed. So it's a good thing. Unemployment, people are unemployed, give them their unemployment checks, man. This is, one of those crazy times. And the reason why is that majority of these people want to work, but they've been laid off or furloughed or fired, or the business collapsed. So what are they supposed to do? Starve? And so, yeah, you got this money and you're going to spend it. Then work on vaccines and distribution of the vaccine. What else? So take care of the people there. Make sure that the hospitals got what they need. Make sure that the vaccines getting rolled out. Maybe employ the military or the National Guard or whatever. Give her help you can with that. And what else is there? I don't know. What's the Kennedy senator got to do with COVID? All this other money, it just irritates the snot out of me. And what I say is just pass that. And then all your other stuff that you want to do, when I'm talking about the Congress people and the Senate and all that jazz, just friggin' do that later. But for now, get out some money, get the vaccine going, send out the syringes, make sure it's free. Try to coordinate with as many people as you can to get it out there effectively. I don't know. Hey, grumpy dude. Thank you, Upland Dave. We're doing good, Butch and Lucy. Life in the USA. I'm awake early. I went to sleep at like 6 or 7 and woke up at 1 o'clock this morning. And I had a choice. Do I want to knock myself back out, or do I want to stay up? And I decided today to stay up because I can always take a nap later. Good morning, redneck. I bought the same computer. Oh, now I see similar models for 50% more. I'm very happy. So I think you made the right choice. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't know about the 50% more thing. but it's a good computer. And the thing is that I don't use a lot. This is it. I use StreamYard. I upload videos. I answer emails. And what else do I do? Amazon shopping. I mean, it's just, I'm looking at my deal. Google every now and then, but I don't use Office and I don't use Excel. I don't do spreadsheets. I don't do I don't even have Skype or any of that kind of crap on here. It's really quite simple. I just needed a decent, I needed a fast processor is what I needed, because it was really getting frustrating to go into comments and hit a comment and then a little wheel would spin while it thought about it. And now it just goes boom, 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 boom. So that I like the speed of it. I like the size of it. And apparently the clarity is good on the camera. Yeah, I've tried that. It doesn't work for me. Yeah, good on you. I need to go to Cebu with May, and there's a deal where you can go and get a full-on medical deal, and you just set it up ahead of time. It's not that expensive, but they check the cholesterol and your prostate and all the old man stuff. What is up? Well, I'm up. Oh, so my son went to work 60 an hour, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, then off 7. Jealousy, Thai jet. Who cut the cheese? Paul, from what I understand, you came from the Philippines with a few $1,000. If you don't mind, please tell us what happened with your savings, house, etc. That you didn't have more to bring. I had $8,000 in the bank and $6,000 in my pocket. And I unloaded that. Well, the house unloaded. Well, actually, no, that's right. Not true. I sold my condo, and that's where the majority of that money came from. And then I came here with a suitcase and a backpack, and that was it. Because I came here for, I wasn't committed. I came here to just get away from what I was at and see if I liked it. And I gave myself 6 months. And on 6 months and 1 day, I quit renting a scooter and bought one. So I made the decision to stay here. But I was ready I had a plan B, I had a plan C. And I've always thought, worst case scenario, if I came over here and didn't like it, I would go home and do the same old thing anyway. Just buy another condo, buy another car, get another job. Oh, I was kidding about the reasons, call it for me, because my girlfriend owns a house there. There's a good reason. My girlfriend doesn't own a house. Well, you know what, Mick? I would go to Thailand if it was, that's actually my number one choice, is Thailand as opposed to the Philippines. No disrespect, but just the truth. I've been to Thailand. I've lived there. I lived there for a year. I prefer it over this, even though the language is a hassle. I still prefer it. But the visa situation is just too complicated. Oh, everybody's got trolls because they've got nothing else to do, buddy. They say if you don't have a troll, you're not doing something right. Can't believe May's got trolls. Let's see, what's this say? And you know what? I try to give the trolls a chance to be on the channel and go ahead and say what they want to say and get it off their chest. And but then they get stupid about the women, and that's disrespectful. You want to take a shot at me? Take a shot at me. Dude, I've been beat up by people so much. I was in the car business for 40 years. You think I haven't been ground on? Please. These guys have been hit on by professionals. There's no news. Inter-island travel is now open. So hypothetically, I can leave Negros and go somewhere else, but I still don't trust it because they changed their mind. In fact, the mayor here, after 4 days, decided that he wanted some kind of friggin' piece of paper to leave or come or whatever, or come back. And nobody knew what he was talking about, including him. And we didn't know what it was or where you get it or how much it cost and who do you show it to. So I think he dropped that idea. And I think May and I will probably take a trip. The first trip will be close. And Siquijor, we already know we like Siquijor. And there's a place called Cocoa Grove over there that we've never been able to afford, but I think they're running at 50% off. So we might go there just because it's familiar and we want to take advantage of the 50% thing if we can. The next stop would be Bahal. That would be another hour and a half away. That would be another place where we could go for 2 days. We could either take the scooter or rent one. And I'd like to circle the island. And because I hear that's doable. And just, I've heard of these places. I've been to Siquijor, but I've never been to Bahal. And then the big vacation, once I'm completely sure that everything's going to be cool, is we'll take a 1-hour plane flight to Palawan. And we're going to play tourist. That's the truth. Is today Patty's Day? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I used to work for Honda. Nothing went wrong with it. That's my thinking exactly. I wanted a Toyota Wigo. And I was in the process of looking, and I just kind of my friend Stan picked up on the fact that I was looking for a car. I don't know if it was off the channel or through the grapevine. And he says, hey, I know this guy that's got a nice little Honda. And he's selling it for $3,000. That's all he wants because he wants to go buy a Nissan Juke in Cebu. And I said, cool. I'd like to see the car. And the guy actually brought the car to where we were having coffee a couple of days later. And I took about a 3-minute walk around on it. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And what he's doing now is there's something that he's got to get a stabilizer. There's a part that he's waiting for. It's a stabilizer for the steering. And apparently that went sideways on him. So he's getting that fixed. And I got the money. So I transferred that over. And we're good to go as soon as he is. God, you know what? I had the first, we're talking about stimulus, I'm sure. And if you're talking about the 1,200, they say they've all been distributed. But I had to go to Where's My Check or Get Me a Check or something like that IRS website. So I imagine you can call them now. Maybe you can't. But I went to the IRS website and they kept telling me, no, we don't know who you are. It's like, well, you sure knew me when I owed you money. We've gone separate ways now that you're supposed to give me some. But anyway, one day it just appeared. Yeah. Cebu, Cebu's worth exploring, I suppose. I've only been in the city, but I've just bounced in and bounced out. I've never really given it a chance. I've just gone in to take care of visa stuff or exit clearances. Thank you very much. How would you recommend people get to Duma for the first time? I think you said that you did it before, but that you would change it. No, I don't think I would change it. I came in via Cebu. I came from the States, and they flew me into Cebu, and they'll fly you either into Manila or Cebu. So if you want to come to Dumaguete and you land in Manila, you just take a plane from Manila to Dumaguete. Cebu, I had the option of taking a plane, but I opted to take a bus because I wanted to see the countryside. It's about a 6-hour ride, and I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, it was a 6-hour ride, and it felt like 6 minutes because everywhere I was looking. You know, it was for once I wasn't the driver. I got to rubberneck, and I just found the whole bus ride to be very enjoyable. I enjoy looking at things, watching people. I was seeing all these little barangays that we were going through. I was making my assessments. I am sorry to hear that, my friend. I am very sorry to hear that. You stay safe too, my friend. I shall do that one. Thank you for that. Let's see. Nope, not yet. I was just talking about that. I got the money transferred over. I think he's waiting on a part. I'll call him today. And, or possibly May and I will go into Duma if it's not raining. You know, I'll bump into the guy that told me about the guy because I know a guy that knows a guy, and maybe check up that way. I don't like to harass or hound people. You know, I leave them alone. Guy said he was going to do something. I take him for his word. Let's see. Is USAA good enough for Charles Schwab to be set up? I don't know anything about USAA. I don't think I qualified for USAA. I mean, you got to be like military or something like that for USAA. That may have the same benefits. I don't know. That's a credit union I know of in America. Okay, at any point were you hesitant about the field due to safety? I was more hesitant. I was paranoid when I landed, to be quite frank with you. I heard horror stories, and I imagine they were all true, but I never encountered any of it. So when I came over here with this, I think I had 6,000 cash or something like that on me. I was super paranoid about that. Oh, a lock tote bag. That's something I never mentioned. So I've got one of those now. I would recommend one of those. They're pretty much bulletproof. They have a padlock and wire mesh. So you can put your passport, your wallet, your credit cards, your cash, and you hook that puppy to a pipe that's in your hotel room that's unmovable, and they can't get your stuff. Well, they can if they have a blowtorch, but that's one of those things. Its location, I was very, very confident with Dumaguete. One reason I like Dumaguete is that it gets the aftermath of the typhoons, but it tends to not get a direct hit. So that's another thing you got to look out for. You might be living at this island or that island or this part of Luzon or something, and then you get yourself slammed by a typhoon. See how that works out for you. Religion, this is primarily a Catholic society, Christian society. And terrorism, there are parts of the Philippines where terrorism is more prevalent, and just avoid that. It's like, don't walk down that dark alley at 3 o'clock in the morning. Just don't go to that part of the country. Sorry. What else you got on here? Safety, your location, religion, terrorism. And then I've heard that, and May has told me that, because she spent a lot more time there in Manila and in Cebu, which is crowded. You need to be very, very cautious for pickpockets and getting robbed there, right in the street. So it's the same rules that you might want to follow in your home country. If you're out and you're drunk and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're wandering down the street, you're just like, you got a target on your back. I don't wear any bling. I don't wear any jewelry. I don't have any gold. I got nothing to attract anybody to me to steal. I'm pretty frumpy looking anyway. I'm never flashy. So I try not to draw any attention to myself in that regard. And never, ever pull out a wad of cash. Somebody did that the other day. Yeah, I can't remember the details, but we had a conversation about that. I said, dude, do not do that ever again. Can I send a package of all my stuff, computer, clothes, etc., to my girlfriends a month before I land in the Philippines? What's the best method of company for this? LBC, and it's a ballot buy-in box, and figure 2 to 3 months. And yes, you can. But it's a ballot buy-in box. The company that's out here is called LBC. I don't know where you are exactly, so it might be called something else. And you can ship all that stuff to your girlfriend, which is not a bad idea at all, as long as you know her. It'd be a drag for you to show up and have the girlfriend and the box gone, but And anyway, you ship that puppy over, but figure it's going to be 2 to 3 months before it gets here. That was a little cold. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I have like 10 or 11 ballot buy-in boxes stored over here from my friend Goldfinger. Cryptocurrency is easy. Only invest what you can afford to lose. Okay. I spent $100 at 6 different currencies January 14th. My holdings is worth $19.89 as of your time. I just guessed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anybody that's watched The Wolf of Wall Street understands they have some great lines in that movie. Of course, my favorite part was the Quaalude scene, but that's neither here nor there. But he was saying it's like this. It's just like throwing the dice out there. And by the time the so-called experts get the news up on TV, it's way too late for us schmucks. So I agree with you. You don't have a bad idea there. Take what you can lose and just throw it. It's like throwing darts. They did a thing one time. I don't know if they still do, if they still have the monkey, but every year they used to have a dartboard set up with stocks. And I think they had 100 stocks on the dartboard or on a board. And they brought in this friggin' monkey. And they had the monkey throw 10 darts. And whatever stock it landed on, they would buy those stocks, hypothetically. And the monkey beat the experts like 9 out of 10 times. Yes, correct. And it's very expensive, Willie. And so I've got some right back here. I'd show it to you if it was handy. But you buy it by the piece. It's like 10 times the price. And it's just a pain in the ass. So, yeah. And I also had my friend, John Burton here, is the gentleman that did my shopping, Crest toothpaste. John Burton went to Walmart and turned on the camera and was pointing out stuff. And that was the other thing that I saw I had forgotten about. But you can't buy Crest toothpaste out here. All you can buy is Colgate. How you doing, John? You got lucky, I guess, on shipping that stuff out the next day, right? That was fun. We're going to do an unpacking video, by the way. And let's see, it's funny that you can't buy Tylenol over the counter and have to go to the pharmacy to get it. Yeah, but there are probably other things that you can buy over the counter that are controlled in the States. Kind of, sort of. To me, it's just a hassle factor. I like the idea of pulling up to get gas, going into a pit stop thing. You can grab a hot dog on your way home from work. That was my routine towards the end, by the way. 7-Eleven was my friend. I used to go and stop at 7-Eleven, of all things, on the way home because it was close. And I used to get a couple of hot dogs to go and a bag of chips, pack of smokes, and a candy bar or whatever. Just go home and eat. From there, get gas, everything I needed. If I needed toothpaste or whatever, I'd pay premium, but I'd just pick it up to 7-Eleven, throw in my debit card. Boom, I'm in. Boom, I'm out. I like getting in. I like to get out. I hate shopping. And you can't do that here. You got to go to 4 different places to go get what I just mentioned. And you can't use a debit card at any of them. Hey, Paul, how are you, man? I think you should be the judge for your lady friend soon. So I'm guessing I know who will win. I told May that I'll leave it. I'll leave it quiet because I think I'll let May surprise you. There you go. There you go, kids. I'll leave that up. Yeah. You should go to Robinson's here sometime, buddy. I'm so fat, I got to turn sideways just to walk down the aisle. It's brutal. Oh, my God. Hey, thanks, Lee. Appreciate you coming along. I read that debit cards are not protected from fraud like credit cards are, but everyone say just use debit cards in the Philippines. They might be referring to local debit cards. So what I'm going to do, let's just say this car deal falls through and I've got $3,000 laying around. There's a place called Commerce Bank here in town. It's a very small bank, just one of them. There's only one location, but it's very, very foreigner friendly. A lot of guys that I know use it and like it and endorse it. So that's good enough for me. So I would probably just take that money and go put it in Commerce Bank and get their debit card. And then that actually is easier to use if, say, I wanted to go pay an electric bill or a phone bill, a local bill. Credit cards, I always use if I buy something off of Amazon or if I buy a plane ticket. I have much more protection on a credit card as far as canceling the transaction or disputing it than a debit card. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. You got me a real live can opener because I've broken about 7 of them. Actually, John, I got to tell you, I was more excited about May seeing the store than the stuff you were getting. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the everything that you did, but the biggest kick that I got out of it was May. You could see her a little bit, I think, but she's been going on about Walmart for like a week now. I said, you know what? If you're that excited about Walmart, if I took you to Disneyland, you just have a heart attack right on the spot. Well, you know what's going on is what I found over here is like antibiotics and stuff. For example, I used to get upper respiratory infections over and over and over again my first year here, and so did May. It got a lot of pollution, and for whatever reason, or there was a bug going around. But we went to the doctors, and we got the prescriptions, and then when we got it again, we already knew the cure. We already knew we needed to get a Z-Pack, for example, to fix this infection that we've got. And I'd walk into the pharmacy and say, "Hey, you need a prescription." Okay. Well, again, the jungle drums beat out here. And there are 2 or 3 pharmacies that don't require a prescription. You can just go in and say, "Give me this." Pain medications, on the other hand, are a whole different animal. Whether you've got a prescription or not, those can be very, very complicated and difficult to fill. So beware of that. I mean, if you're on some kind of hardcore medication for pain, you may not be able to get it out here. And I'm referring to Dumageddon. I don't know about the other areas. Maybe you can get it no problem in Manila. Yeah, 2 months is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing 2 months, 3 months. It's just kind of, how the wind blows. I used to loathe Walmart. Yeah, you can buy Viagra and you can buy generic Viagra over the counter. I think same thing applies. Some pharmacies will say you need a prescription, and other pharmacies just say, "Yeah, how many you want?" Just a matter of, getting the bead on who does what. Cialis, I don't know. Probably. Yeah, I think you can. I think it's more expensive. Philippines is a cat. Yes. Yeah, that's correct. We can go to Robinson's and use a debit or a credit card. We can go to Hypermart and use it. But guess what? We cannot use it at 7-Eleven. We cannot use it at the gas station. I'm referring to a credit or a debit card. Where else do I normally? 7-Eleven, gas stations. It's all cash, man. May's sister is a nice young woman, mother of 3, my friend. Yeah, you can do that if you trust it. How you doing, Andrew? Oh, cool. I'm curious about the pricing. Are hotel rooms way up there, or are they low or normal? Good old Vegas buffet. I miss a good Vegas buffet. Quick in the Philippines, Ging can find a man fast. I heard good news. Duarte says in news conference he is going to open a time of the week. I hope that's true. Hello from Boston. Yeah, he's supposed to visit us next week. Some sort of ribbon cutting ceremony. There's nothing they like out here more than congratulating each other. Telling each other what a great job they're doing. Here's a ribbon. Here's an award. Here's a certificate. In place. Hey, John Parker Baker, how you doing, man? Out there in Fargo. I love that movie, Fargo, by the way. Let's see. I've been watching for a while, hoping to make it to the PI sometime later this year. Next year, add this to your coffee fund. Thanks for the information. Well, I don't actually have a proper coffee fund, but I appreciate that. And I do drink a lot of coffee. And I will. I will take May and somebody else out for coffee on you. Thank you very much, traveler. Yeah, I kind of miss it, and I've been grinding May, and a lot of the girls were like here one time and that was it. And they just went off and did other things. And there's a lot of stories behind the stories. There are some girls, I'm not going to mention names, of course, that were on the show and presented themselves, and I don't know them. You have to understand, I only meet them that day. They come over to hang out and go swimming and eat free food or something. They're a friend of May's friend that came over with another friend, because if you invite one, 6 show up because they heard there's food. And so that's how a lot of those interviews happened. And these girls were like, yeah, I want to be on your channel. And so I go, okay. And so I would ask them questions. And it turns out that they weren't all that truthful sometimes. So I told May, I said, you know what? I want to vet these people a little better. I want to know them a little bit better, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. And I will repeat, do not send money to any of these girls unless you're just doing it to help them. In other words, there's a $50 donation in here for a young lady that's very deserving of it. She's just a young lady. She works in a cantina. I think May had another young lady just like her a few weeks back that got $100 or something. And she had never held 5,000 pesos at one time her entire life and just didn't know what to do. I mean, she just didn't know how to act. She makes 3,000 pesos a month or 3,500 pesos a month. And May comes rolling up and says, hey, look, this came into my PayPal. They wanted me to give this to you. His name is such and such, or I can't remember if it was anonymous or not. And he doesn't want anything in return. But he just wants you to have this because he's a humanitarian. And the girl, she said the girl just didn't know what to do. She was just like, well, I've got to give this to my parents, and I'm going to be able to pick up a little phone now that I've been needing because mine broke. And some of that stuff, it's not life-changing. And I always tell May, I said, watch what they do with the money. Because if they run around and they buy the latest and greatest cell phone, for 3,000 or 4,000 pesos, and then spend another 1,000 pesos on a pair of shoes and a new bag, they're not being that responsible. But if they give their parents some money and they buy themselves some food and they pay up 2 months worth of rent at their little boarding house, I said, that's the kind of people that we'd want to have back on the show and give a little progress report. But again, I'm repeating something that I said earlier. I'm going to repeat it again. A lot of these women that are on the show, it's a year old that you're watching, some of them. And so they're already gone, boys and girls. They've met somebody. And recently, Riza, May's sister, met somebody that she really likes. And they seem to be getting along. And he's been wanting to talk to her parents. And so they've been doing little family Skype things. And it's been very respectful, which is exactly what Riza was looking for and deserves. And some of the other girls, if you're going to send them money, which I'm not saying don't do it, it's your money, not mine, just caveat emptor, just don't have an agenda. Do it because you want to help them, not because you want something in return. Again, you can do whatever you want. Well, there you go. That can happen. That's, a Mexican thing. That was the big thing in Mexico. They said, always drink straight from the container. Yeah, I just, I chatted with him before he left, and I saw Mia the other day with Paul the day before he left. And so Mia and I and May were going to get together a couple of days ago and do a video, but I think we got rained out, or I got sick. That's what it was. I didn't feel good. So I canceled that. And so I think we're going to get together with her hopefully this week and do some channel swapping and some chit-chatting. And I think it's good that he's doing that. I'm glad he's doing it. I can kind of see the rest through his eyes. And I know him a little bit, so I know how he views things. So I kind of know how to filter him a little bit, if you will. Grilled cheese sandwich. Have mom make you a grilled cheese sandwich. You'll feel fine. Paul is serious, taking names and kicking butt. Be respectful. Just be respectful to the women. You can work me over anytime you want. I've been ground on by professionals. Is young Paul decide to expand? I do not know anything about their personal intentions. Yep, that's right. Exactly right. In fact, I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, but the whole American economy is based on borrowing money. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know they don't have basements, but can they make a good grilled cheese sandwich over there? I can make a hell of a grilled cheese sandwich. I agree, Paul. Why are you going to get on a channel if it makes... Yeah, I get your drift. They do it because they got nothing else to do. And like I said, that's okay. I'm a freedom of speech guy. If you want to say, you should be able to say what you want to say, as long as it doesn't hit. Let's see, where'd I get lost at here? As long as you don't do it towards the locals or the women. Take all the shots you want at me, please. Tokyo is expensive. I can believe that. Paul, you've been cooler. The most trolls as long as they ever subscribe to others have zero tolerance when they will delete you instantly. Well, they don't really do anything, do they? I mean, I'd much, they're going to give me a jab. I'll just give them a jab back. And sometimes I got to put them in a timeout, or just they start trying to overtake the stream while the adults are trying to talk. So it's okay. You can make your snarky little comment, and I'll just come back at you a little bit, and we'll move on with our day. But it's when they want to keep coming and coming and coming and coming. They're interrupting the adults. We're trying to talk here. Go sit at the little table. Yeah, she's a good girl. And you wouldn't believe how cruel and hateful some of the things they do and say. And one thing I'll never do is mention their names. And one thing I will never do is go to their channel and leave a remark or a comment or a retort or start in with them. And I'll tell you why. And I don't watch their shit anyway. Pardon my French. In the beginning, May did, and I did in the beginning, because we were trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing. It was foreign to us. And it was really bothering May. And now she's gotten to the point where she just laughs it off. And people will send me links and say, hey, this guy said this about you, or they made a video about you and May. and it's got really disrespectful pictures of you or May, or they're calling you names, and we don't even entertain it. We don't even go and look at it. We don't. Well, ignorance is bliss, I guess. If I don't know what somebody's saying, you know, where was I going with this? I got off on a whole tangent. I forgot what I was actually going to say. I'm getting behind, and I'm talking too much as usual. I'm way behind on my comments. You might appreciate this information, and possibly your viewers might. You would know how valid this information better than anyone. 6 ways to stay in the Philippines permanently. I think that information's out there. There's a lot of vloggers that will do stuff. What's his name? It's something like Grandpa something. He's in the States, but he's got really good information. Filipina P does a lot of research and has a lawyer friend, talks about that kind of stuff. Me, I just, wing it. Phil might be going back to lockdown. Be careful, as the larger cities just did today. See, that's news to me. But that's why I said that this whole travel thing, we're giving it a month. So I want it to shake out. I do wonder if he told her to call him Daddy. That's a very good question. Are expats allowed to operate small businesses like selling mushrooms, I get you, and microgreens to the restaurants? I don't know. My gut feeling tells me there needs to be a Filipino or a Filipina attached to the business. If you're doing it on the side, that's one thing. But I think to operate an actual business of any type, you need to be in bed with, with a Filipino or a Filipina. Pardon the term. To Tokyo and South Korea, Cambodia, PI. Oh, that's you guys chatting. Yeah. Depends on your definition of too many expats. And the thing is the last video I did, I just said I eliminate people if I find them to be toxic or annoying or full of it or changed or whatever. And that's easy to do too. If I don't want to be around any expats, because everybody pretty much congregates in the same places. It's mostly bars and restaurants. I don't have to be near Expat 1 here in Duma. I can drive. I keep saying it, but it's true. I can drive for 20 minutes and be expat free. So I don't know what the big deal is. Yeah, the car found me. It was one of those things. I had a budget. It was right there at budget. My philosophy is don't buy anything I can't walk away from. And $3,000 would be a sting. That's a lot of money to me. I could walk away from it. If there was an earthquake tomorrow and we had to leave, I could leave. I'm also very confident that it's a car that if I was planning on leaving, had the time and the luxury to do so, I could just sell it for what I paid for it, or 1,000 less or 1,000 more, whatever the market will bear, or just give it away. Well, that's again, there's going to be ups and downs with this thing, probably for the balance of the year. And so there's going to be spikes. People are partying. People are going out. They're opening up. They've had enough. They're taking off their masks. They're not vaccinated. So, yeah, people are going to get sick. Thank you very much, Stephen. That will go for the phone. I can't promise you any special effects. You spend more in Tokyo than you want to be in. Yeah, I've always wanted to go there. I've always wanted to go to Tokyo. I just think it's a fascinating place for what I've seen. Anthony Bourdain got my life, I always say, because he got to go to all those places. And it's like money was no object, right? The show was paying for it. But I love sushi, and I just like the Japanese. They're just crazy people, they're just weird. They just do weird stuff. I'd like to see it in person. Oh, okay. May and I are going to go this Sunday to Liquid or Dulce Vita, one of the two. Or Pura Vida, I mean. Yeah, I think you need a wife or a partner. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, that there's a new germ going to jump up, in a week and a half, and everything's going to go revert. Yeah. Speaking of maybe in 35, my PNA wife is 36, and I couldn't be happier. It'd be great if making an interview more for the 30s and 40s for those guys who are looking. May actually prefers women her own age. She has a very tough time. She's more like a mother than a friend to these girls that she talks to. She has a very, very, very difficult time warming up to the 20-somethings. I'll put it to you this way. I thought about that. I mean, she's friendly and she's nice and all that, but she just doesn't have anything in common with them, and they bore her. And so I got to thinking about it, of how different I was at the age of 35 than I was at 25. I mean, it was light years. At the age of 25, I was trying to figure out, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? Where am I going? At the age of 35, I was doing it. I had found it, and I was on my way, full steam ahead. May is at that 35 where she's found it, she's doing it, she's moving full steam ahead. And then you go back, and the 20-somethings, she's just can't relate. They're still gossiping and bickering and flitting about and doing childish things, to her. And not that they're not sweet people, good girls, nice, all that. But some are old souls that she relates to, and they can be in their early 20s. But she really, really gravitates to women in their 40s and their 50s. The problem with them being on the show is that they're really kind of settled in. They're not really looking as someone younger is. And they're also very reticent about being on camera. So, but I've made that same observation, Biff. And May would love to do that if she could find more willing participants. That's the big difference between May and myself, is people find me, but she goes out and finds them. So she works at it, I'll tell you. Bring an IRS. I was having a conversation with somebody about the IRS the other day. He must be quarantined over there. Is my guess. My friend Woody called me yesterday and wants to go there. We might go there Sunday. And I just sort of casually said hi to Finn one time. He was at my old apartment complex, and he didn't know who I was. And I didn't know who he was, but he looked familiar. And then somebody told me later, yeah, that was Finn the Snow. And so we looked him up, and he's got like 1 million subscribers or something. I don't know. And he travels all over the world. So Anyway, Woody, my friend Woody, said I should get together with Finn and we should do some stuff together. But I don't know if he'd want to. Oh, yeah. One of those qualifiers. And that's the other thing. I think the people making 80 grand or 90 grand should have got a check too. Because what if they're unemployed? Why are we punishing the successful? I mean, my father never said, you know what, Paul, I want you to go out in the world and barely make it. People always said, get out there and do the best you can, be as successful as you can and do a good job and try to be the best and this and that and the other. And here these people they're working hard and they're doing their thing and they happen to be successful. So let's go ahead and punish them. And I say, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. I'm in a mood today. Let's see. You can claim the $1,200 to $600 IRS if you did not receive it. Yeah, there is one way out of that. So that's a good point. If you don't get it, which is a drag, at least you can get a little write-off next year. Yeah, I'm hoping to get one, but I had to call on him. All of them. Oh, well, good. But I hate that when you call and they give you another number. It's like the help line. I've done that a number of times with electronics. It's like they say help, so I go to the help and I write them a letter. They go, oh, well, hit this link and go to these people. I thought you were those people. I went to Mindanao. I went way down to Zamboanga, which is the southern tip. And that's the most dangerous place you can go. So, of course, I went there. And the reason why I went there was my very first girlfriend was from there. She had a little place there. And she wanted me to come down and visit. And so I did. And I stayed like at a hotel/compound kind of place, never had any problems. And I said, hey, I want to see your place. And she said, no, I can't take you there. And I said, why? Are they going to kidnap me? And she said, no, but they'll kidnap my girls the next day if they see your white ass over there. So there you go. Now there's like CDO and there's more northern part of Mindanao that's no problem. But the farther south you go, the weirder it gets. And May came from Chaton. And May knows, her brothers at least know, guys that live up in the hills, up in the mountains, that are part of that whole thing. Can't wait to tell. Unbelievable infighting in the GOP USA is causing problems for the USA. Okay. Let's see. Well, I have an 09 Honda Fit, Jazz. It's never let me down. Yeah, man. That's the thing is, as long as this thing hasn't been driven over, a bunch of rocks and undercarriage, what I'm doing, just to bring you up to speed, is my deal with this guy was once he gets his part, it gets installed, and he fixes whatever problem he wants to correct with the car, which I really appreciate him disclosing. Tells me a lot about him, number one. Car was really well maintained. He agreed without hesitation to give me the car for one day. And I'm just going to take it to my local mechanic. And I'm not worried about nicky-nacky stuff, I just want to make sure all the oil has obviously not just been changed, but I want him to open it up and look. The transmission, headlights, windows, wiper blades, turn signals, no major defects or problems with the vehicle. It's got low miles for how old it is. It's a 13-year-old car with 80,000 miles, so that's low miles. And the tires are good. It's It's not going to be something that we're going to use a lot, but I think at this stage of the game, not this year, maybe not next year, but there's going to come a point where I just can't drive the bike anymore. It's getting too cumbersome. It's my reaction time is slow. My vision is bad. So it's going to get to a point where I'm gonna get hurt, or I'm gonna hurt somebody, or May's going to get hurt, or a bunch of people are going to get hurt. So the car just seemed like a logical option, and it's something that it's not so expensive that I've got to bail out of it. If I had to bail out of it, I could. If I had to sell it, even for half price, I'd be happy to do it to someone I know. Yeah, the Chinese are getting real involved here. I agree. Well, I was in the car business 40 years, so I know. I would call myself an expert in some of these issues, or topics rather. And Honda and Toyota are by far the most reliable vehicles. No, not with us. I'll tell you what the noise is here. Is on Sunday, Saturday night and Sunday, there's a church next door, over the wall. And it's like a home-based church. And they practice their singing on Saturday night. And then they have church service on Sunday. Excuse me. And it doesn't bother me one bit. Roosters crow, but I've gotten used to that. In fact, I kind of like the sound of it. But I don't have any barking dogs. And the worst noise on the planet, my friends, is karaoke. I don't have any of that. But I've had it before, and it's no good. Well, you're a young guy, buddy. Your wife and my mother is from Dumagetti. Well, tell them I said hi. Save that money. Thanks, Edward. I'm glad you were able to catch up. You want to say hi?
No, I'm not change the clothes.
Huh?
No.
That's okay. Put on a shirt and whatever. Thank you very much, Ronald. Block tote before my trip to Cebu. It worked out great, and I highly recommend it. Yeah, I'm going to put, you know what? I've omitted that from almost everything. Why don't you say hi in a little bit, okay? Or say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
You're getting done.
Okay. It's an awesome item just for peace of mind. I wish I'd have known about that also. It's a number of things that, you know what, the more I talk about this, the more I'm going to do a video. And I was going to do like my checklist before you move to the Philippines. And I think it would be useful. And it would be advice, which you guys know I don't like to give, but I feel very comfortable with it. The worst kind of advice is the one you don't ask for, but someone decides to give you anyway. I always crack up at guys that have channels, but I used to watch them. I don't watch other channels now very much. Sorry about that, but baby May just made me some coffee. Coffee, you want coffee? But they give dating advice and romance advice. And I think, how can they give me dating advice? What do they know about me? It's the same. It just befuddles me. This is how you meet a girl in the Philippines. Really? I won't go on. Let's see. The House just passed a bill soliciting urban farming, and I do shipping container farming, so they may look favorably on it. Putting together to assess their level of interest. Well, good on you. You sound like an entrepreneur, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, I'll die here. Well, yeah. I leave the house with, I've learned I've tried it several different ways here. And so here's my little deal. What I used to do is I used to say, okay, this is my budget. And for the sake of this conversation, I can afford to spend 1,000 pesos per day um, until I run out of my budget and I've got to move money again. And that way I kept myself kind of on track. I've changed that. If I can spend 1,000 pesos today without going off of my budget, I put 10,000 behind it. So I leave the house with 11 because there might be something that I run into that I use a lot of and I want. And I like right now, I've not been able to find a certain kind of steak that I like. And I keep checking up weekly at the store. And the shipments are not coming in. Their supplier has not cut them off. They just haven't been able to get their product here, I think because of the COVID thing. One day I'm going to wander in there and they're going to have them. And I'm going to buy all of them, 10,000 pesos worth, and put them in my freezer. I've learned that lesson. And so, yesterday, May and I went to a Sari store that we love because they've got really low prices on like stuff like snacks and bottled drinks. And we wanted to start stocking up the refrigerator with some sodas and stuff. Even though we don't drink them, other people do. So when they come over, we want to have something to offer them. And but they had green tea, which I do love. And it was buy one, get one. And it was like 22 pesos for two. So it's 11 pesos, which is 20 some odd cents. And cheaper than Coke and Sprite, which I don't care for. And so guess what? Old Paul just bought out everything they had and put it on the counter. Number one, it was what I wanted, and I hadn't seen it for a while. Number two, it was half price. So that's kind of like my MO. As far as getting pickpocketed, here's the next level that I take it to. At the Sari store, I did have the money in my pocket. May was in the store checking out. I walked outside after doing the shopping and had a smoke and sat at the table. And then May poked her head around and said, give me 3,000 pesos. I said, okay. And then without anybody seeing me, turned around and peeled off 3,000 pesos and gave that to her. So I never, ever, ever want anybody to know that I've got 10,000 pesos on me, except for everybody that I just told here on the internet. I carry two wallets. I have one in my safe. It's got all the passports. It's got the driver's license from America, which is expired, the credit card, the debit card, something else, and something else is in there. My father's Rolex that he gave me, that's in the safe. I walk out of the house with a Velcro wallet that's got my Philippines driver's license and some cash and some business cards, and my loyalty card for Hypermart. And that's the long and the short of it. Nothing else. Lock tote. Yeah, look up lock tote bag. You can get them on Amazon or wherever. Did you really get it already? He has to sign the bill. I am bad. I'm the worst. Well, thanks, Lisa. Am I behind or what? Yeah. Every blue moon I wear jeans, and so I don't put anything in my back pocket. I put it in my front pocket. And you can always carry your money separately also. So, have something like a paper clip or a money clip or a rubber band around it and break it up into two parts. In other words, if I leave the house with 10, I don't do this, but hypothetically, I could put 5 in one pocket, my front pocket, and then leave 5 or 6 in the wallet. So if it does get lost, it's almost in half. There's a very good comment. That is very, very true. Phone snatching. Keep an eye on your phone. Again, here in Duma, man, I just don't have that I'm notorious for walking away with my phone on the table so I can go outside and have a cigarette. And I'll just tell May, hey, watch my phone. She goes, sure. And she does everything but watch it. She sits there and plays on hers. But I've lost my phone just by it falling out of my pocket, but it's never been snatched. In fact, I got it returned. Sounds like Vegas and stage time. Get drunk. That's messed up, Paul. Bad enough losing the girl, but all your goodies too. That's harsh, I know. But I just pictured it, So poor guy sends all of his stuff over to his girlfriend. He shows up and they're both gone. If you can't take it, don't tune in. If I wear a bra, I qualify to wear a bra. That's what's scary. You're fat when you go over a speed bump and your tits jiggle. Well, good, hillbilly. I'm glad. I used to go to the dollar store all the time. Boy, I get drunk and do stupid things. I could write a book on that. Okay, Steve. As soon as I can find some charcoal toothpaste over here. I'm afraid Colgate's is about as charcoal as he is. Oh, Jean-Claude. Baby May?
Yes.
Jean-Claude's giving you 1,000 kisses and only one for me. No, wait, only half of one for me. He's cut my kiss in half.
Happy the chicken.
He changed his name, though. It's no longer Jean-Claude. It's Mapul.
Mapul.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, I plan to go to the Philippines in December if it's open. Cool. I plan to visit Cebu City, Dumaguete. What city have you been? I have not. I have not been there. I am the most boring expat you'll ever want to meet. Here's what I found out, boys and girls, is that they all look alike to me. All these little provinces and towns and whatnot, the architecture doesn't seem to change. The topography doesn't seem to change. The people don't seem to change. So I'm sure they all have their nuances, if you will. Like I was in Bacolod, and they have proper stoplights, red and green, that nobody pays attention to, but they've got a lot of traffic. Some towns have cabs. We don't have cabs here. We don't have taxis, I should say. Some places have Grab, like Cebu, which I think is awesome. Dumaguete doesn't. They've just got trikes and jeepneys and hubbles. So the modes of transportation I've noticed differ. And then there's some different nature things that people can go see. I'm not much of a waterfall chaser. I've seen 10 waterfalls since I've been here. I'm in no rush to see number 11. They all look alike after a while. So if I knew something about it, buddy, I would tell you, but I don't. I've never been there. Let's see. I did some research about the best 6 ways to stay indefinitely. You would know better than us. Extend your tourist visa, marry a Filipina, serve as investor's visa, hire 10 workers, quota visa. Yeah, you're right on all that. I tend to stay on a tourist visa because it allows me 3 years, and then it's really quite simple. I get on an airplane and I leave the country, and I could hypothetically, I could fly to Singapore and just hang around the airport for 5 or 6 hours till the next day came around and jump on a plane and come back. I've gone 24 hours and I just start the 3 years all over again. And I just went to immigration when I went to the dentist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What day was that?
Last week?
Yeah. So I just extended it for 2 more months because I wasn't sure as to when things were going to open. I was going to do 6, but to be honest, I didn't have money on me. I'm doing good, Phil. Thank you. Cortisone 10. I've never tried, but I would say you probably would need a prescription for something like that. That's a anti-itch thing, right? Or something like that. Or is that for arthritis? I don't know, buddy. It's weird. It's hit and miss. There's stuff that you can go in and get right over the counter. And then there's other stuff that you need a prescription for. And it's all pharmacies, and a lot of times they're out of stock. And they says you're supposed to take 18 pills, but they've only got 11 pills. So map, who will put that ton? That's right. Only kisses on the cheek, buddy. A lot of people are going to come out and visit us, May.
Yeah, 417?
No, I'm saying there's 417 watching us, but a lot of people are going to come to Dumagetti and kiss you. No. And visit with us. My SSI and pension adds up to $2,500. Rock on. I am afraid that if I have a catastrophic illness, my $50,000 savings will disappear because they don't honor Medicare and Medicaid. Well, they don't honor my Medicare or Medicaid either. Hard for me to answer your question, my friend. 50,000 depends on what happens to you. You can go to, it depends on where you're living too. I mean, here, I'm not impressed with the hospitals in Dumagetti at all. The level of service, the level of competency, the cleanliness of them, the way they're run, I'm just not impressed. I have heard good things about some sort of setup that they have in Cebu that guys go to. I think they stay at some sort of circle. What's it called? Fuente Circle or something like that. And it's right across from some medical center, which I can't remember the name of. But Tom Sullivan went there about a year and a half ago. Tom Sullivan was my friend. Yeah. He was sitting next to me on a bar stool at a bar that's no longer owned by the same guy called Gigi's. And we were having a beer, and Tom just passed out and fell on the floor. And we called an ambulance for him. This is the God's truth. And they put Tom on the gurney, and they were wheeling him out. And he said, "Hey, can somebody hand me my beer?" And they did. And they put him in the ambulance, and he was still drinking his beer. He's the one that went to Cebu and did the whole medical thing after that episode. That was just one of those things that happens, you know. These are the guys that I call my friends. Grumpy Dude, find some fuzzy dice to hang in the Honda. Thank you, Grumpy Dude. We will.
I give you water.
Okay, honey. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Some fuzzy dice. Or my high school graduation thing. You do? I mean, I've kept my sense of humor, I think, real well. There are days, though, that you get the bug bites. It's hot as hell. I've asked May the same thing 14 times. She still doesn't know what I'm talking about. Not her fault. Okay, I should know the language. And then you go through all this rigmarole and you get to where you're going and you find out they don't have it. So that's where we get a little snarky. They actually told Stash at the hospital that they took his money and they told him to go away. They said, we don't like foreigners. I guess he got a little lippy with them. I wasn't there for that. Yeah. Again, I don't let fear rule me, or what if and blah, blah, blah. I mean, no disrespect to healthy planning, but you've got $2,500 a month. And if you live like I do, you can save $1,000 a month, or you could live like you do, spend your $2,500 either way. But if you were to be on $2,500, I would imagine you could live in a fairly metropolitan area near a nice hospital. You can always buy travel insurance. I think for $2,000 a month. What's it called? It's called Blue Cross or something like that. Look into that. You could up to have medical transport to, say, Thailand, which has got state-of-the-art medical. So to every solution, there's a problem, right? But I like to look at it the other way. It's like, well, and at some point in time, I've come to the level of acceptance that if I have a heart attack tomorrow and died, that's okay. I mean, I've had a great run the last 4 years. In 2010, I had a full-blown heart attack, and I was in the back of the ambulance, and I wasn't scared. I wasn't panicking. I was confused. And when I say I was confused, they told me, they said, Mr. McGill, you're having, you're having a full-blown heart attack here, and a cardiac episode. And they had the paddles ready in case I went out, and they were hooking all the stuff up to me. And I was confused. I was saying, this is it, huh? Because I was convinced that was my last day on the planet. I was going to die before they got me to the hospital with the way it was hurting. Ooh. And, but I was very relaxed. I have a faith system that I try to fall forward, but if I ever fall backwards, I fall back on my faith. And that was one of those times where I just fell back and gave it to God. And I thought, this is it. I got so much more to do. I'm almost to the point to where I can get out of the country, So there are options if you've got that kind of money that I think you can easily afford than others can. I use Gcash a lot. I just gave her 30 pesos worth of load, and I'm keeping a record of every peso I give her, by the way. I told her I'm going to give her a bill at the end of the month. I was telling her we went to Marcos yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And you came out and you said, I need 3,000 pesos. Remember?
2,200 plus.
It was 2,200, but you said I need 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I told her it was your turn. She didn't like that. Yeah, that was what I was saying. See, I got to keep up with these comments. I talk too much.
Wow, 453 people watching.
453 for joining
so
us. Thanks a lot. Let's see. I got to keep up these comments. I'm getting way behind. Paul, do you still smoke? Yes, I do. And if not, when did you quit? I'm trying to quit now. I find it to be a son of a gun. Keep up the great work. I enjoy it. It's my guilty pleasure. And there's not a smoker on the planet that doesn't wish it didn't smoke, in my humble opinion. Keith Richards, one of my personal heroes, said it was harder to quit than heroin. So I have managed to quit. And it was just a matter of, for me, it was just a matter of willpower. And I have a tremendous amount of willpower. If I set my mind to do something, I will do it. Like I told May one time, I said, I'm going to lose 10 pounds this month. And I lost 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I was to say I'm going to quit smoking and meant it and wanted it, I would quit. But you know what? I enjoy it. So I'm going to keep doing it. So sue me. Phil Health she has Phil Health. And thank God we've never had to use it because she's never had to go to the hospital. But that's awesome for her. I mean, it would take her bill down to almost nothing. I call Phil Health your get out of jail free card. In other words, if I had a Phil Health card in my top pocket and I went to the hospital, they would admit me right away, just at the sight of the Phil Health, because, that's just the way they think here. Pacific Cross, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah. In fact, that will probably be after the car and after I go back to the States and set up. I need to do, a post office box. That needs to go on my list. Not a post office box, but an American address.
Yeah.
That goes on my list of the video that they want me to do about what to do before coming to the Philippines.
Mm.
And so I'm going to do that video. It's an advice video. That'll be a first. But that would be something that I would also purchase. I think it's $2,000 a year. My friend AJ just bought it. He went to Thailand and he advises it. And AJ is one of those smart guys, So I've been hearing good things about this company. And just have to realize that you're going to be reimbursed. It's a reimbursement process. So you still need to have cash in pocket to get the hell out of the hospital, at least here. The best of Jay Farley. I'm too far gone at this point. Oxygen 24/7. See what that means. When are you taking me to Walmart and Disneyland?
I don't know. Up to you.
You have to get what? Passport? Huh?
No.
No.
Sorrow.
What do I do? Hey, Mr. Jeff, how are you, buddy? Mary Jane, yeah. Last Dance with Mary Jane, right?
Who's that?
Mr. J. Let's see. No, there's I hear about your health, yeah. Yeah, that's always kind of been my plan of action. Is if I got diagnosed with something really serious, I mean, not immediate, but going to be a long-term issue, I just go back to the States. No, you don't. They will report to the IRS if you have more than 50,000 US dollars in it. I'm still waiting for my 1099 from YouTube so I can do my taxes. Power outages freak me out. He's having enough tanks to last 24 hours. Yeah, we don't like the power outages either.
Yeah. The camera,
Unfortunately. You'd be a little snarky with me.
very nice.
Yeah, they don't like them out here. They're not big on the hardcore pain meds. Stash had a prescription for Jason while he was in the hospital. He went to 7 or 8 different pharmacies and nobody had it. Yeah, we would rather see May. I agree. I told you I have a great face for radio. What did you do in the hospital? Okay. Oh, these guys are talking amongst themselves. As early as Friday night, really? Did he sign it? See, I'm a day or two behind on the news. I live in the future. So, did Biden sign? I mean, is it off and running? That's a fact too. Yeah, these guys are always waving boxes at me as I drive by. They got Cialis and Viagra and, all this other stuff. And I know some guys have bought it. It was like sawdust. So, good morning, Florida. Well, Guam would be a U.S. territory, right?
Yeah.
So she would have to have a
Someday.
passport. I gave her the information for the passport. She hasn't made one move towards filling it out. So, staying at the sports bar. What do you think when I come over in November? Which sports bar are you referring to? The sports bar. I'm not familiar with that. Hey, Craig. Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, I was talking about the girls earlier when you were gone. Remember Maria Catherine and all them used to come over. You'd have 8 or 9 girls come over and swim. And that's how they'd end up on the couch.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know it. And we're not mentioning any names, but a couple of them came on the couch and told their story. And their story wasn't exactly correct.
Yeah, invite to Maria Catherine. Yeah. She is very sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Maria Catherine's a good girl.
Yeah.
She's a nice girl. But what I was telling them.
21 years old? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But what I was telling them is that like her video is like a year old.
Yeah.
And so she's had a boyfriend. I don't know if she still has.
No, not boyfriend.
No more boyfriend?
No more.
Okay. See, now I stand correct. This is how I get information, after the fact. But for the longest time, she had a boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I was telling these guys. They were watching the video from a year ago and saying, well, I'd like to meet her. And it's like, dude, it's a year old. She's met somebody.
Yeah.
Them. I also told them, Reza, your sister is taken. So hopefully that hasn't changed. So she broke up with the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to have her back
now
on.
Maria Catherine is single.
Woo!
Yeah. I invite her.
Yeah, have her over. Hey, enjoy your beer. Scott's ahead of the game, apparently. See, this is how I was talking about communication. This is how it happens. Usually a day or two after everything happens. Most buffets have been closed indefinitely. Seizures, properties done well. I'm pretty sure MGM well. Many shops have reduced rates. Wow. See, I wish I could go over there right now and get one of them $20 rooms. God, with no, because the room charge is $20, I think, and the resort fee rather is like $10 or $20. I can understand why they would close down the buffets, but that rate, man, that's attractive. Good on them. Good people. The way Pia helps is good. I don't know what that means. Can you talk about breaking up with a Filipino? How do they take the news? I've only broken up with one, and that was my first girlfriend. And we had the conversation for like a month and a half. I just kept saying, it was about money. And I was like, this has got to change. Okay, this is not working. I'm going to ask you to leave. So it wasn't like a big shock or anything. So I told her, I said, you know what, by this day, I'm going to give you some money. I'm not going to leave you out in the cold. I'm going to give you enough money to get home where you came from. And I'm going to give you enough money to run on for a while once you get there. And she never left town. 3 days later, she moved in with another foreigner. Could have saved that money. Yeah, man, you need to up it up. This guy's got a girlfriend. She owns a car and a house.
I don't know. I don't understand.
You don't understand? Selective hearing. We got him out. You're coming in late on this one, buddy. We went over Jason already. Drove a cab for 13 years. Never seen so much crime on the Strip in 40 years. Been here since 1984. Tuesday robberies, metro. Oh, is that in Vegas right now? Yeah, I heard that they opened up the hotels and that a bunch of gangs took over like the entire floors because they were really cheap rates. Pacific Cross, once again, sage advice. I think with all that I've seen and watched and all that kind of stuff, I'm not so worried about the insurance as I am the quality of the care here in Dumaguete. I really just don't have any faith in the hospitals. Now, they've built a new one that we've passed going out to Sabulin.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on the left. And it's on the left-hand side. It's brand new. It looks state-of-the-art. But I don't know the first thing about it. And again, the competency level. Yeah, not well. They don't take it well. Well, who does? I mean, you know, when you're being rejected by someone, male or female, it's not really the happiest day of your life. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Good on you, John.
No
Damie May up and ready before 6 a.m. Let me out trying to wake her up in the morning. Yeah, May's an early riser with me. I quit smoking every night when I went to sleep and started again. You know what I keep hearing about vaping. So maybe I'll give that a shot. But I've got to want to quit, right? Right now I get too much pleasure from it and I enjoy it. And it's just part of my routine. So that's good advice. We will. Thank you very much. We will go out and have we'll go out and have some coffee today.
Yeah.
I'll buy you lunch. How's that
Wow,
sound?
pandesal with coffee.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
See?
That is Filipino.
Yeah, you got her attention.
Double dun.
Good
Because the
good job, Don.
coffee and hot pandesal. That is Filipino food. Every morning.
Not true. I kicked my girlfriend out and it was a blessing. Good on the kids too, thanking for their service. I have one go. Okay. So if you want motivation, quit watch Graham and Pies Vlog from Thailand. Oh, I don't need motivation. I understand the risks. Trust me. I mean, actually is bad for you. I always act like it's the first time I've heard it. Really? $25 a pack. I found that out in Canada when I went up there. It was brutal. I think that adds a lot to it here. It's $2 a pack. If it was 25, I'd take a real hard look at it. Resort fees are up to $30-35 most shops, all now charged for parking. I heard that was coming. Parking fees waived during cooking back to Vegas life in most properties and buffets completely. The parking, I can understand the parking. I don't think that would be an issue for me. I don't think you can eat more than I already do. But I've heard that. You quit smoking, you gain weight. Oh, okay. So he did sign the bill. It made it to his desk. I hadn't heard that. Thank you for that information. It'll happen quick. Last time I got it in like 3 days. Because they're, you know, say what you want about the IRS and the Treasury. After the first cluster, you know what? They got their act together and they knew more were coming. And so I think they hired more people and it wasn't such you can't beat them up that much because it was the first time they'd done anything like this. on that scale. So, you know, let's see. Paul, Biden wants to pass extra $200 a month for SSI. SSA, it would be good. I think so. I think that, especially those on disability, more money is good. I've always felt that programs. I had a very interesting conversation with a guy named Martin here in town, who just got to Dumagetti, contacted me. We had coffee, and he actually worked for the welfare department for a couple of years and got so disenfranchised with it, he moved on to something else because of the abuse and whatnot. And my comment to him was, I've always felt that for compassion, we should take care of the disabled, the elderly, and those that can't take care of themselves. In other words, the mentally challenged. And he agreed with me, as opposed to an able-bodied man or woman that can get up and go get a job but just refuses to. So yeah, the elderly, that would be me. Again, I'm a special circumstance because I moved to where the cost of living is drastically lower than in the States. But very, very, very few people are going to do what I did. Even though it sounds like a zillion guys are coming over here, most people don't go further than 30 miles from their hometown. So, I mean, most people are just going to stay rooted in the States. They're married, they got kids, they've got a life, they've got a house. There's no reason for them to come over here. And $200 a month would make a major, major difference. They've raided Social Security. I think Reagan started that whole snafu. And I'm getting about half of what I should be getting because it was been mismanaged. So I know that there's people getting $1,100 a month on Social Security. I can't live in America on $2,000 a month. So I've heard of elderly people that can't buy, it's a choice, food or medication. So yeah, I do. I really do. I think the older generation, SSI, Social Security, disabled, by all means are entitled to, if anybody gets a raise, it's them, as opposed to some program, studying the mating habits of friggin' penguins. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, how you doing from Budapest? Awesome. That's right. Live forever. Hi, May.
Hello.
The best of Jay Fraley. How much is Phil Health there? I want to send a Western Union to pay for it to help out a friend. Thanks. What are you speaking for a Filipina? I paid $1,800 for 3 months.
Yeah, 3,000 for 6 months.
3,000 for 6 months.
Yeah.
3,000 for 6 months. Hello, Nashville. I'm not sure I understand the difference between vaping and cigarettes. It's still nicotine, right? Yeah, it wouldn't happen. But do I think, was the question, it's fair or right? I say, yeah, absolutely. Take care of those that can't take care of themselves. Elderly people, disabled people, military, take care of them. If you're going to take care of anybody. Catch you next time, Edward.
Joy.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, because that would be my theory, is that you'd be able to breathe better. possibly be more active and do more walking. And the problem is, well, here's what happens. I've researched it, is there's fruit sugar in the paper of the cigarette. And so they get you coming and going. And so not only are you getting a nicotine hit, you're getting a sugar hit along with it. And so when you quit smoking, you immediately crave sweets. Now, the way that I quit was I used those lozenges, and I took 2 days and I was done. And then after that, I went to hard candy because I needed something in my mouth as opposed to this. I put in a hard candy, like I forget what they're called, but you can suck on them for an hour. And I found that to be effective. We've all got our triggers. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that today. You know what? Maybe I will just do that bad boy today. I'll sit here with the stupid chicken and
With the scooter.
and the scooter. Oh yeah, let me show them that, because a bunch of people were saying, "What is this thing?" They saw it next to the
If you pause
the chicken. If you push this guy's head down, he'll race.
Yeah.
And May bought me this for my birthday,
Yeah.
and it's a scooter, and it's a really gay looking scooter. So she picked out this guy. I don't know what his deal is, but that's actually a little scooter.
Yeah.
And he races where the chicken walks.
Yeah.
She got me the chicken the first birthday. The second birthday, she got me that scooter. Yeah, vets. Why do we send money to foreign countries? I don't understand. I don't understand the immigration thing. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand. That's true. That's exactly what I have found, is that it just turns into a money grab. It really does. That's what it was with Jason. I saw in the news, again, I'm about a day or so behind, that they've, like Texas and whatnot, has just said, screw you, and opened up. Said, that's it. Let's rock and roll. And I'm of that mindset myself. If you're afraid of the virus, stay home. If you think you need a mask, wear a mask.
Yeah.
If you don't think you need a mask, don't wear a mask. It would be you that's catching it, right? If you don't have a mask on. Now, from what I heard, it's protecting others, because if you sneeze or you have the virus or whatever, well, okay. I imagine at this juncture, at this point in time, that it is prudent and respectful to wear a mask if you're going into a public place, such as a hospital, an elevator, etc. Here's where I don't understand it. In order for me to walk into a restaurant here, I have to have a mask on and I have to have a temperature check. I'm cool with that, especially the temperature check, because if I've got a temperature, I wouldn't want me to be in there with the other people either. Good chance that I've got something, if not COVID, something that I could transmit to other people. But the second I sit down at the restaurant after going through all the optics, I take the mask off so I can eat. So now you've got all these people here in Dumaguete and throughout the world, I imagine, in restaurants eating. But why do we have to have a mask on to get through the front door? I don't know. Can someone explain this to me? Yeah, the point I was making is that Social Security, the amount of money that I have paid into it has been absolutely positively mishandled. And the amount of money that I should be receiving is about a third or so, at least a half of what I'm entitled to. If they had just taken that money and put it in at 1%, I'd be getting double. What politicians promise and what politicians accomplish are two different things, is all I'll say about that. Let's see, I managed to lose my space here. Here we go. Quitting is for losers. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand any of it. I don't understand where any of the money comes for anything that we do other than taxes. Let's see, I'm on SS. Stab wounds, 3 cars, none of my fault. Fell through a roof, head back, just not counting my health issues. None of your business. How's that? That's all I get, $2,000 a month, Social Security and retirement. Yeah. I think the average right now is 15, isn't it? Yes, Ronald Reagan in the 80s was the first to confiscate 100% of all and replace it with special class of U.S. treasuries. Yeah. Had he left it alone. Had he left it alone, we would all be living a little higher on the hog. Totally. Yeah. And it's, you know what? It's people, it's not a welfare system. It's where's the money going to come from? So I put the money in. They took it out of my check every month. And it was a big number. So it's my money. It's as if I had gone down to our friends at Charles Schwab there and given it to them instead for 40, 50 freaking years. I'd be in a lot better shape. Just the stock market fund of some sort. I don't know. So it's not like I'm going down and saying, hey, give me some free money. This is my money. They're paying me back. And they didn't invest it right. I worked my ass off for that money. So smart return to Lockheed Martin. Yeah, there are guys that actually had a lot of forethought. They would go to work for, they would say, go military from the age of 20 to 40, right? And then at the age of 40, hook a job with the post office until 60 or something to that effect. And they would get a government check and a military check. Or here you got Lockheed Martin, which is a pension fund. And then on top of that, you get Social Security. So those are 3 different sources of income. Very good, very smart. They'll never put it back. No raise for use paying. So why bother? Illegals are with it now. Well, okay. Well, you're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome. I got off of politics. Never good. Yeah, they had to take from something. It's not the nicotine that kills you. $10 years, and we don't get more money. True. They had a 1.2 raise. I think it came out to $30 or something. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they do. They ship certain products And it will tell you right then and there that this company does not ship to the Philippines. This computer that we're on right now, it was interesting. They charged me $200 to ship it out here. And it was still cheaper, believe it or not, than buying one here if I could find one, by buying it in the States and paying the $200. And then they just refunded me $51. So for the shipping or some fee or something. That's the second time Amazon's done that. So I like Amazon as far as buying stuff out here. I know I'm getting the real deal. And I looked at phones. Here's an interesting factoid for you. I looked at this Oppo phone. And I forget the designation, but it's top of the line with this Snapdragon thing to use with wireless mics and all that hoo-ha. And it was $800. Didn't we see that on Amazon? $800, $800 or $900, right? Yeah. $800 or $900 for that phone. And then I saw it on Shopee for $360. So what's the difference, right? I got a feeling it's warranty, China, all this, that, and the other. So I don't know if it's a knockoff through Shopee. I don't know. But we'll go to the store today and we'll look at Oppo, and they won't have it in stock. Yeah. Trust me on that one. Okay. But I'll be able to get a little information and pricing. Because didn't I take a screenshot of it or something? Yeah.
No.
No? Well, minimum wage will never get there. It's at $7.25. That's too big a leap. So they might get it to 10. So I've heard that also, man. No tar and whatever, still no definite rule show the same. Oh, I get it. It's tar and nicotine. Okay, I get you. So you get the nicotine hit, but you don't get the tar coating your lungs. What fun is that? Yeah, there's twice that they've had 0 raises. I think the year before it was 3 something. It was pretty good. Jolly Ranchers, that's what it was. That's right. Thank you. That was my hard candy. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good guy on a budget health insurance out here. Even though it's quadruple what she pays for me and half the coverage, it would have picked up a lot of that hospital stuff and helped him get discharged, helped him get admitted, helped a lot of ways. It would have been good coverage for him. Oh, thank you for your videos. Very thought-provoking. I'm on a 4-year plan to retire F62. Well, good on you. That's about the time I started taking it very seriously. So thanks for watching. Well, maybe I'll give that a shot. I know another guy out here that vapes. Is that what it is? Is that Captain America? That's even better. That's true. It's interesting how they come up with all these numbers. Let's see. What time is it? 7:30. What time did I start this rodeo?
7:27.
How long have I been on here?
Your beginning is 3 a.m.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. 2 hours and 43 minutes. No wonder I'm getting tired. All right, I'm going to give it till, I'll just give it 2 more minutes and call it a day. I'm actually getting tired talking to you people. So let's go through some of these. Hello, Lord. Oh, see, that's a troll.
Oh, copy my picture.
Yeah. How do you? I like that. Someone took your picture.
I'm getting famous now. I have
See?
another picture.
And that's a troll. So what this idiot will do is
Thank you for copy.
Yeah, will go to another channel and make a comment and make it look like it's May making the comment. This is how much trouble
Crying.
these guys go through.
Thank you for copying my picture. I'm happy. I'm getting famous
This is
now.
someone with way too much time on their hands.
Thank you for copying. I'm getting
See,
famous
she
now.
likes it now. She used to bother her, and now she thinks it's awesome.
No, I'm so happy because he copied my picture. So and now I'm feeling the movie star.
Yeah, see? She ain't famous unless they're bashing you, baby.
So funny.
Oh, man. No one showed me how to blow balloons. Okay, either I'm getting tired or this is just getting weird.
It's so funny. I'm feeling to myself I'm very beautiful because you copied me.
Werther's butterscotch. I like that too. See, she's all wound up now because she saw a new troll picture. We've been to Cebu a couple of 3 times just to do some exit clearance stuff.
So funny.
All right, kids. We are going to sign off. Say goodnight, Gracie. Let's see. Look, see. Here, I'll show you again. Okay. This one, Paul beats me every day. No, this one says that I beat you every day.
Yeah,
And they call you baby
Yeah.
Mamasan,
Yeah.
Mamasan, because a mama-san is
Yeah.
someone who prostitutes out girls,
Oh.
acts like a pimp.
Oh,
Okay. So that's their catchy catchphrase about you.
okay.
So you'll have a young lady on the program
Yeah.
and you'll ask her if she's single. And
Yeah.
she'll say yes or she'll say no.
Okay.
And then they say that you're pimping out the girl. That's the imagination factor of these people.
Yeah. But it's okay. God, He give you for the what is no.
Yeah.
Because God always look at me. What
That's
I'm
right.
doing.
That's right. God is the judgment.
Yeah. If you happy you're doing bad with me, good luck.
God bless you, right?
Yeah. God bless you.
Pray for him. Turn the other cheek and all that good stuff. Yeah, they're starting to wake up, so we may as well go. They're fully crawling out from under whatever rock they were under.
Oh, it's so funny.
Okay.
What is that?
Oh, just ignore it, honey. We got the adults are in the room too. Let's see. These glasses. All right, kids, we're going to say goodnight. To you. What is it? Is it nighttime there? It must be. Yeah, it's 7:30 here. I've been on for going on, what is it, 3 hours?
Yeah.
That's a lot of conversation. Thanks for joining in. I will find you crazy people in the next video. And I guess I'll do the old what to bring before you come or what to do or how to set up for coming to the Philippines. Okay? See if you guys like it. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe my channel.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait a minute. The commercial. Give them the commercial. Today with Baby May.
Please, guys.
Please, guys.
Thank you for copying my picture. Bye-bye.